I'm Smith here from the 172nd Airlift Wing, and I want to take an opportunity today to talk about your movement through the pandemic, the quarantine, the lockdown period that we find ourselves in, and it's kind of a significant day for me to be doing that because 10 years ago today I was pastoring in Yazoo City, Mississippi, when a mile-wide EF4 tornado hit our community, and that tornado radically reshaped both Yazoo City and it radically reshaped the church that I was the senior pastor of at that time. We took the opportunity to really look at who we were, what we were called to do and be and minister in the community, and then we refocused our efforts and we went out into the community. And for the next 2+ years, it really changed the way in which we thought about who we were and what we were doing. And I hope that maybe in the midst of all of this, right now, the upheaval that you're feeling in your life, there's an opportunity for you to be thinking about how you can maximize the pandemic, both in your personal life and the life of perhaps an organization that you're a part of or that you lead or a unit that you're a part of or lead. And so I want to do that in a couple of different ways. The first is just want to kind of help you understand. Researchers have identified three basic groups that people break out into in the middle of a crisis. You have 10% of the population, which typically engages in some sort of counterproductive behavior or self-destructive behavior. You certainly don't want to be a part of that group. The middle group is about 80%, and those 80% typically just do nothing. What they're doing is they're hoping, they're banking that they're going to move through, they're going to turtle down, get out the other side, and everything is going to return to normal. And I can tell you from everything that I'm hearing, everything that I'm reading, that there's going to be a radical new normal when we come out the other side of this pandemic. Things are going to look different. And so then the next question is, how are you going to put yourself in the top 10%? And the top 10% are the people that emerge as leaders. How are you going to come through the pandemic better equipped both to lead yourself, your family, organization, business unit that you're part of? And there's a couple of keys, things to remember that will help you to be that person as you come out the other side. The first of those is you need to maintain your point of reference, and you want to keep it as you stay on course. And what that means is this: you need to know who you are, right? So you need to have some sort of a solid foundation. Perhaps if you're a part of a unit, that's your mission, your vision statement, or the organization. Who are you? What is it that you're about? What widget do you make? What product do you sell? Or what is it that makes you or that organization what it is? Okay, and you have to remember that. That is your core. It's your basic foundation. That's your starting point. But then you want to identify the new reference point, the place that you're headed. And that is going to change. That is what we're talking about. It's probably going to alter. What are going to be the new opportunities out there that you can focus your energy on? And so you want to be about identifying those, but you also want to be, understanding, gathering around yourself a real understanding of what's going on in the middle of the crisis. And the second part of this is that you want to wait for the dust to settle before you execute, right? And once the dust is settled, everybody is going to coalesce around that new vision, that new idea, that new goal that you're going to lay out for them. And you're going to be establishing that new goal, that new organizational direction, those new opportunities in the midst of the crisis. And the way that you want to do that is you want to be gathering to yourself literature, you want to be gathering to yourself material, you want to be gathering to yourself stories of people that have gone through these sorts of things before, just like you are right now. And yet they came out the other side prepared to lead in a new environment. And so you really want to use this opportunity to retool, restructure, gain some understanding, both of what it looks like, what it's going to look like on the other side. And then the third thing is you want to practice realistic optimism, not just optimism. You don't want to just be sparky, okay? You want to be realistically optimistic. And that what that means is you want to have a real understanding of the situation, of who you are in the situation, of what your organization, those around you, what are their capabilities, what are their opportunities, what are their gifts, their talents and abilities. But what is really going on? You don't want to sugarcoat anything. You want to be as realistic as possible. But you want to do it with that optimism, right? That you're going to get through this. And once you do, you get on the other side, you're going to have such a solid understanding of what's required that you're going to be able to effectively lead. And all of this is going to be bound together by the power that you have to connect with people and individuals. That is still what matters. That hasn't changed. It's not changing now, even though you may feel disconnected from people. It's not going to change on the other side. It is every organization, everything that we do, ultimately, always is still going to be about people. And the opportunity that you have right now is to connect with those people and to prepare yourself and to prepare them for what it's going to look like on the other side. And one final thing that I would just kind of add to this mix, and that is that researchers have identified that people that practice a strong faith do very well in and through crises. And so, whatever your faith component is, my encouragement to you is don't lose sight of that in the midst of this pandemic. In fact, run to it, cling to it, hold fast to it, because that's going to give you that solid foundation that you're going to need to lead effectively on the other side. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless.